morning or afternoon or whenever you're watching, ladies and gentlemen. This is Just Plain Living, and I'm John Gray. And I'm sitting here beside two beautiful ladies this morning.
I'm Lauren Foster.
I'm Peggy Burton. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you,
and
John?
it is Easter week.
I know, and I was just thinking you look Easterish.
Got my Easter shirt on.
Got a big
Easter
egg over here.
Easter egg.
Got the Easter egg.
Yeah. And so it's a good week. The weather's been, it's warm.
Yes, and there's so much going on.
And the dogwoods are almost gone. They've been beautiful.
They came and went.
They have been,
Absolutely
haven't they?
beautiful, yes. And this year I got to see the cherry blossoms because I was in Virginia and the blossoms bloomed
While
2
you were
weeks
there?
early.
Nice.
I was
Well,
there. Beautiful.
everything's early.
Everything's
You
early.
know what's going to happen? We have had snow before in April.
We better not, because my garden is in the ground and it doesn't. No snow. It won't happen.
Garden, bird.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. It's right in my front yard. I step out my bedroom door and there's my
And there
garden.
you are in the garden.
With spinach and lettuce and
That's
Brussels sprouts and
great.
tomatoes and onions and herbs.
Brussels
and
sprouts.
Brussels sprouts.
That's what I gave up for Lent. Brussels sprouts and tofu.
No, I make Brussels sprouts.
Easy, folks. You want to give something up for Lent? Brussels
Give up.
sprouts and
Brussels
tofu. Not a problem.
You can do it.
The way
Yeah.
I make Brussels sprouts, you would love them in a creamy, bacony sauce.
No, I don't dislike Brussels sprouts. It's just something that
you-
is not hard to give up.
Right.
It's not something you go to the grocery store and you think, oh, I'm going to get a bunch of Brussels sprouts.
Well,
right?
they're just little bitty cabbages is all they are.
They're
But they're
delicious
very healthy.
and very,
they're
very
good
healthy.
for you. They're good for you. What about beets? Do you grow beets?
No, beets are high in sugar.
They really are, but they are still low in calories. They tell me.
Fiber.
Yeah.
Lots of fiber.
Lots of fiber.
Fiber's overrated.
You think so?
Fiber is overrated.
Yeah, I got this new whole philosophy, and my new love is coconut milk.
That's supposed to be good for you, too.
Yes, it is, and it's delicious. I already have a plan for organic pina coladas for my trip to the beach this month.
There you go. Do you go ahead and get the real
Organic.
coconut and drain it out, or just go
I
buy
don't know how. I'm going to see if I can. I don't know if I could manage the
hammer and a
machete.
nail.
And
a hammer and a nail and turn it up? It comes out,
unfortunately,
yeah.
my coconut milk comes in a can right now.
But that's supposed to be real
But
healthy, too.
that's a goal. See, if you start off with coconut milk in a can and have a picture of a beautiful beach and white sand and blue crystal clear water,
Yeah.
then that's something to work toward.
That's right.
And we all need something to work toward.
Everybody needs something to look forward to and
Yeah.
something to work for.
And we do that we're working all the time around here.
I know, it's
Excuse me.
nonstop.
Non-stop.
I keep thinking, maybe I should slow down some of my activities, and then it's
Well, then what
Another
are
day
you
and
going
I'm in
to
it.
do?
Right. Which
I
one
know.
would you give up?
that's right. How
Hey,
about
excuse me, I've got a frog. You got any frogs in your garden?
There's
I'll
lots
bring one
to
over
toad.
there.
she's
No,
kissing a frog every day?
I
aren't you?
bet you there are lots of frogs. I have a frog-friendly neighborhood. My
Good.
cats are grabbing
Frog-friendly,
frogs
I
all the
like
time.
that.
Well, that's
Yeah.
nice.
You can
That's
have
nice.
frog legs once in a while. Are these little
Little
itty
itty-bitty
toads?
ones. Yeah.
It's hard to be frog friendly when you're eating frog legs.
Right.
I
And
know.
yeah. And I don't mind frog legs, but somebody else has to catch the frog and detach the legs and
Frog
and cook 'em.
friendly becomes a farce quick.
Yeah. I remember a cartoon where it said on a restaurant, frog legs today, and all these frogs were coming out on crutches.
That's terrible.
It was pretty funny. Oh, me. Kentucky won the
pitiful.
national championship last night.
That's good.
Isn't that awesome?
Was that
Yeah.
where the riot was? Where was the riot?
Well, no, there wasn't a riot. They partied.
No, I heard there
in
was a riot.
Kentucky, I guess.
Mattresses set on
Yeah,
fire.
I heard
yeah.
there was a huge riot.
And a car. They set a bunch of stuff on fire and got in trouble.
And I think
Well,
luckily nobody
riotous.
was killed,
Those
actually.
Wildcats. Well, you know.
I am
big
better
deal.
informed on a news sporting event than John Gray.
And that's
Somebody write down this
After the
day.
game, I went to sleep. So,
I heard it on the
Enough
news this
done.
morning
Yeah.
at the radio
Enough
station.
done. Hey, Peggy, Blaine Davies and his crew really did a magnificent
what?
job
They were
at South
wonderful.
Jackson last Thursday
I am
night.
so much more informed on Shakespeare than I have ever been.
Yeah,
They
it
did
was-
a superior job, and we
it was
had
good.
great audiences from the students. We had not a huge audience for the night performance, but those that were there laughed and had a great time.
Oh, it was wonderful.
They
Yeah,
did a
something
wonderful
else that I
time.
missed. I'm always
They did a great
planning
job.
to go
It's
to
hard
these
to see
things.
everything.
Yeah, the
It's
next
just
thing I
hard.
know, it's like, oh, that was great.
There's a lot going on. For those of you who don't know, which is probably Lauren, Music Awards, Country Awards show was Sunday night, and there's been a change in the guard and that whole deal. You know,
I didn't watch
Alan Jackson, George Strait, they weren't even on the, much less did they not win anything.
Aw.
They weren't
on
even,
the show,
they weren't
yeah.
even there.
That makes me feel a little old.
But the winners were song of the year was, well, let's go first to duo. Duo used to be Sugarland. Now it's Thompson Square.
Ooh,
New young
I don't even
group.
think I know Thompson
Blake Shelton was Male of the Year, Miranda Lambert Female of the Year, and Album of the Year, which they're
a
tying
couple,
up.
so I
They're
guess-
tying up and getting married and everything. Sort of catapulted them into that, and they both
In the
worked hard.
spotlight, yeah.
You know, they both worked hard, done well. Group was Lady Antebellum. Entertainer of the Year, Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, little bitty girl.
All those
she's
guys,
won
you know, she
everything.
was with Brad Paisley and Shelton and all these guys, you know. Taylor Swift, Entertainer of the Year. New Artist of the Year, Scotty McQuarrie.
Is that
McCrary.
is that the American Idol kid?
Yeah, a little bit. He looks like he's 12, but he has
Exactly.
a voice like with that Statler brother. You know,
And he won the
deep
what
one.
did
he was New Artist
Oh,
of
new
the
artist
year.
of the year. Okay.
Song of the Year was Crazy Girl by the Eli Young Band. Writer was Dallas Davison. Video was Toby Keith's Red Solo Cup.
I
Was
can't
video
believe
of
that.
the year.
Isn't that funny?
They had a party
what?
and
Somebody
filmed a party with Red Solo Cups and wrote that song that night and filmed it, and it almost won Song of the Year.
Right?
Anybody that can make a song out of a red solo cup.
Red
Right.
Solo Cup, oh, I'll fill you up. Let's have a party.
And that's all
Let's
it
have
was.
a party.
And they were just those
You know.
guys singing, and they made a video.
Oh, wow. We are a
And
simple
vocal
mass.
event of the year was Don't You Want to Stay, and that was also single of the year with Jason Aldean and Kelly Clarkson.
That's a nice song.
It's a
That's
great song.
I
And
thought I was
Jason
up to
Aldean
date
was
on
up for all
country. I
kinds
guess
of
I'm not.
awards.
Yeah,
So,
he's
and
done wonderful.
most
So
of these
has-
people are with independent labels.
That's a little.
That's a big deal. It's a big deal that the big companies aren't
Aren't doing any
represented there much
stars.
anymore because they're sort of. There's not a door open on Music Row, hardly. You can't go down there and walk in
And walk in
and
like
do
you could in the
anything.
old days.
Everything's locked up.
Yeah,
There's
it's so
nobody there.
easy to self-publish, and there's such technology
there.
to get things done. Don't need them.
Something
That's
else
all
we
right.
want to talk
Music
about
Row.
right now is the Bell Buckle Cafe and Bell Buckle Banquet Hall's Easter Buffet.
Yeah,
And that's supposed to be a
happening.
wonderful event.
Bill Hall.
Bill Hall is going to be there, and they're going to team up and do a lot of the famous R House salads and desserts and breads and Jay the Bell Cafe, carved roast beef,
That makes me
chicken breast, and all that stuff. And it's a $19.95 for adults, $9.95 for children, and the band Bad Nickel will be there.
And I think you have to have
Nichols.
reservations, so you might want to give.
Well,
the
it'd be
number.
good to do that. It'd be
What's
good to do
reservation
that.
number?
I would imagine you could just show up, but you'd be smart to call. And that's 931-389-0223 and talk to Martha. And
And make your reservation.
Make your
And go and
reservation.
have a wonderful. Is that go all day?
it's 11 o'clock till 3 o'clock.
11 till 3.
Good
And
questions,
and
Peggy.
what Greg told me he's going to do is he thinks he's going to do that. He and Bill have talked about probably going to do that the second Sunday of every month. Is have a big
buffet.
big buffet down there in the banquet hall, and then also in the months if there's like Mother's Day or if there's a special holiday,
Yeah.
they'll also do those holidays. So there might be some months he'll be down there two times.
Cool.
I think it'll be successful.
Oh yeah,
I
because
really
that
do.
food down there is just
They do a great job.
wonderful job with the food down there.
Today's Dog of the Month, my favorite episode. Jeremy Mitchell from the Telehome Animal Shelter is here with a cute little
I
dog.
know. If you're wanting a dog, today's the day to get one.
It's adorable.
precious.
I haven't got to meet it, so I don't know if it's a he or she, but it's cute.
Did you buy a lottery ticket?
Me? Are you
Read my
kidding?
mind.
Did you?
I don't buy lottery tickets.
I
Did you
did.
buy one?
I don't
Well,
win
yeah.
things.
I don't either, but it's kind of funny when it was $640 million, I went and bought a lottery.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you can't
just
win
$1.
unless you got one.
That's right.
Well, there you go, and I hope you win.
No,
would be
it's done.
thrilled
It's
to-
Too late.
over.
No, it's done.
It's over.
3 people won.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was thinking that
Clueless.
if I won the lottery, I'd have that dog and all of them. I would rescue them all if I were rich and had all the money and property.
You know that we're going to do an event for the Animal Shelter in Tullahoma and the Humane Society in Coffee County. Our band is.
It is.
That's coming up in May, and we'll talk about it later, but it's all about raising funds for neutering and spading.
Awesome. I'm glad that came together.
All those things.
Yeah, they're really
need to
nice
be
people.
taken care of.
Yeah.
One of
I'm all
my
about that.
favorite Married with Children episodes is when they went to neuter that dog. And old boy's asleep on the couch and he's dreaming, and that dog comes up to him and he's talking to him and he's going, you are really going to do this to me? What are you thinking? It was just funny.
That is funny.
Al Bundy's probably
was
just
hysterical.
hilarious.
Yeah, he is a classic.
That was a good group.
Hilarious. So it's great. You know, and folks, we have a lot of good things on the show today. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have a preview of a fashion show where ladies are dressed in exceptional dresses. I'm not going to tell you a whole lot more about that, but
Something
you know,
to look
they were
forward to.
beautiful back in the day, and they're beautiful today.
Exactly.
And just all kinds of stuff. We have a walking tour of some new restaurant renovations that have been done.
When is
and
that taking place? Do you know?
It already
Or is it
has, and
already
we
taken-
video.
see,
We
we're on the
video.
bed
We've got
asleep all
video.
day.
You missed
of
it too. There
I
you
missed
go.
that too.
So yeah, you got to be quick around
You gotta
this
be
town.
quick and
There's
get
a
it all
lot of things happening. So what we want you to do right now is don't go away. You stay tuned, because we'll be right back with more fun on Just Plain Living.
Tommy Anderton and Martha Jane Barton from Traders Bank to share why our Channel 6 viewers should bank with us in 2012. Martha Jane, I've known you to be employed at Traders Bank practically all my life. What is so special about Traders that's allowed you to enjoy 52 years employment?
Tommy, there are several things that make Traders the best. At Traders, it's like family as an employee and for our customers. Each customer receives exceptional personal service. At Traders, we're flexible and timely with our responses. At Traders, we listen and accommodate.
Martha Jane, thank you for that testimonial. Our New Year's resolution is to continue treating customers like family. It's truly why so many people never bank anywhere else.
Traders Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
These are the children who had no chance. They're known as Brazil's street kids. They wander the streets dying by the thousands from drugs, AIDS, and bullets. Most of them have been abandoned, left to survive on their own. These children needed a place to go. I had to do something. So I brought it up at Rotary. People heard about what we were doing and asked how they could help. Together, we raised funds to give them a home and open the school. They're learning a trade. Now hundreds of kids have a family and a future. They're contributing to the community because Rotary believes in making things better for everyone.
Rotary is making a difference right now.
They have hope.
Rotary gives people an opportunity to help.
Hello and welcome back to Just Plain Living. I am Lauren Foster, and I have the joy and honor and pleasure of being here with Officer Jeremy Mitchell from the Tullahoma Animal Shelter. This is my favorite episode. Everybody knows. This is when we do Dog of the Month, and if this is new to you, our Dog of the Month gets a free spay or neuter. And I've met Ozzy. I'm assuming Ozzy is a boy. So
Ozzy is a boy.
It's going to be a neuter in this case. It's okay, sweetheart. Don't worry, he's got a little stage fright. But that's all good. So yeah, Ozzy is our Dog of the Month. So he gets a free spay neuter. What else?
Let's see. This month, his rabies shots will only be $8 the entire state. Any veterinarian will give you a cat or a dog a rabies shot for $8.
Oh, you can get your cats done too.
Yep.
Oh, interesting. Because I do have 2 cats that are probably due.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're actually more prone to rabies than dogs because they're out and they usually get out into the wild a little bit more than they do.
Right, where the
climbing
skunks and
trees
the foxes and the squirrels and stuff are. Right. So the entire month of
April.
Month is April. You can get an $8 rabies shot at any vet in the state.
Any vet in the state.
Okay, awesome. So now there's also a dog of the week each week in the Tullahoma News and in the Exchange.
Yes.
So look in there and adopt a shelter dog. They're so grateful and so sweet, and they love you so much for it.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about Ozzy.
Let's see. Ozzy was a stray. He was found at Walmart.
Aww.
So he was trying to find himself a home, but there was nobody there. But I don't know if he'd got lost there or not. But
the Walmart puppy.
Yeah, nobody come to claim him, and he looks like a little fox.
And do you know what breed he might be?
He's a Chihuahua mix or something. I mean, he's got that little white tip on the tail. Looks just like a little baby fox.
Like a little baby fox. Yes, he's so cute. And about how old do we think he is?
That's about 10 months to a year, somewhere right there. So he's still fairly young and very trainable.
Okay, but he's not going to grow much more.
No.
He's probably
I think he's about where he's going to be.
Okay, awesome, Ozzy. It is so nice to meet you. Yeah, be sure and call the shelter and adopt Ozzy, or if you prefer another animal, go by and look and see what kinds of dogs they have. How many are there now?
We have we're down to about 40 now.
Very nice.
Yes,
you have a capacity of more than 80, right?
Yeah, we've had it up there, but we've had some good adoptions, and it's been going real well.
Okay.
Finding homes.
Awesome. And so you also have some events that are coming up this month. Tell us about those.
Yeah, we have an event on the 21st. It's a Saturday from 10 to 2 p.m. And it's going to be a Vaccinate and Chip Your Dog Day.
Vaccinate and Chip Your Dog.
Yeah, we're going to have Dr. Kim Hambrick there doing inserting chips and giving vaccinations.
Okay.
Also, let's see, Kramer's. Debbie from Kramer's will be there cleaning ears. And Stephanie from Pampered Pooch will be there trimming nails for a small donation to the shelter.
Okay.
It's going to be fun. Come out and enjoy it. Bring
that
your
will
dog.
be fun. Where did you say it is?
It's going to be at the Tullahoma Public Works Department.
On the 21st.
If you want more information, just call and we'll give you more information.
Okay, awesome. Now, will you have shelter dogs there?
Yes, we'll be able to show all the shelter dogs.
Okay, but bring your own dog for a vaccination. And the chip that he's talking about is an identification chip, so that
if you ever lose your pet, we scan every dog that comes through the shelter
to see if they have a chip.
to see if they have a chip, and we can get it home.
Right. That will let whoever finds your dog know where it lives and where it's supposed to be, and get it back home safely. All right, so we always take this time to tell people about how to care for their pets during whatever weather we're having.
It's no longer cold anymore.
It's not cold anymore.
As far as the dog houses, they're still required, even though it seems like it gets a little warm in there, but it's mainly the purpose of for bad weather, rain, sleet, things like that. They got to have some type of shelter. And a carport awning does not count. It actually has to have 4 walls. A garage will work, but just remember, if it's going to be out for longer than an hour, you have to have food, water, and shelter.
Food, water, and shelter.
Check their water daily, especially if they only have a small bowl, because they'll probably lick it up real fast.
Yeah, I've already noticed my dog is drinking more water.
And there are a lot of nuisance dogs that love to tip their water buckets. So if you have a dog that likes to tip their bucket, find a way to secure it. It's ultimately up to the owner.
Now, what's harder on dogs, the cold weather or the hot weather?
I'd probably say the colder weather. Well, I don't know. They can both take their toll.
It might depend on the dog, too.
It could depend. And if you have a dog that stays outside all the time, it's cold. It can be just like us. It can be cold or hot.
Right.
So no matter what, make sure they have food, water, and shelter, the stuff that they can stay nourished with and stay hydrated is mainly, especially in the heat. They need to stay hydrated.
Okay, and they'll also kick over their food bowls too.
Oh yes, they'll kick their food bowls over, water bowls.
And if they're outside, there might be other animals in the neighborhood that might come and share.
Yes.
Okay, now you were telling me about another event that's happening. Was there 2, or was it just the rabies
just the one
month?
This month, and then in June we're having a Miss Tullahoma Firecracker event.
Miss Tullahoma Firecracker event.
Yeah,
okay.
It's actually a beauty pageant that Whitney from Pool and Spa is going to be holding for us. All proceeds go to the Tullahoma Animal Shelter.
It's a beauty pageant for humans.
For humans, of course, yes, for humans. Sorry, I didn't need to specify. Yeah, you can bring your daughter up there. You can enter them in different types of events and things like that.
So it's just a fundraiser for the shelter.
Fundraiser for the shelter.
And of course, the shelter is doing great work, and they're a no-kill shelter, and they always need donations of water bowls and food and blankets and
all the
kennels
time, yes.
and all of those things. And
greatly appreciated.
And monetary donations go towards medical care for all of the animals that are at the shelter. So give your money in a really, really good place and go there to adopt your next pet, because nothing is better than a shelter dog. Thanks for being with us, Jeremy.
No problem. Thank you.
We'll see you again next month.
Always.
And y'all stay put. We'll be right back with more Just Plain Living right after this.
And I'm Mike Thompson, and we own Thompson Ford in Tullahoma, Tennessee. Lori and I bought the dealership back. It's on Highway 55. Same dealership that we had for 10 years. Look forward to serving you for another 10. Thank you to the community. Thank you for allowing us to be here for the last 15 years. Thank you for having us raise our family here.
Thank you for all your support.
It's been a great place. It's a great place to live. Look forward to living here. Put me in the ground here. I'd be proud to do it. God bless America, and God bless Tennessee.
Our office used to look like this, but now with My Paper-Free Office from R.J. Young, it's easy. We've made all of our files electronic and stored them in our virtual filing cabinet, which gave us tons of space. And Bob here, a big promotion. Melissa can pull files in minutes and spends hours on Facebook. And Kyle's confidential files stay confidential.
We're not totally paper-free, right?
My Paper-Free Office from R.J. Young. It's that easy.
Good can overcome. That is where your contributions to the Salvation Army go.
You know, with Easter coming, I just wanted you to remember, a lot of people hide eggs and stuff like that, and sometimes Easter eggs are deviled eggs. It's deviled egg time of year. Might not be quite spicy enough for you, so if you need to pep them up a little bit, go to the smokehouse and get some of Jim Oliver's Fiery Burning Butts barbecue sauce to make that egg a little bit better, or Blazing Rectums. Right here they are, and that's a couple of the sauces you can get at Jim Oliver Smokehouse on Monteagle Mountain. Now, the other night, Peggy and I talked about South Jackson having a Shakespeare sampler, and Lane Davies and Patrick Waller from Tullahoma and some folks, great actors from Nashville, were there to do this, and we caught them at lunch and had a little interview about what they were trying to accomplish educationally and entertainmentally through explaining Shakespeare in a different kind of way. This is Lane Davies right here, along with Patrick Waller of Tullahoma with food in his mouth.
That's right, always.
And a wonderful crew of people who have come to do a Shakespeare sampler as part of the educational outreach for South Jackson Civic Center. How are things going this morning, folks?
Great. So far,
yes.
so good.
Everything's
injuries,
good?
You know, no gross public humiliation.
Well, we were on stage.
But we're good.
Happy to be here.
Okay, we're on the other side away from the light, and what I want to do now is get Patrick and Lane to introduce their comrades here that are doing this sampler for us at South Jackson.
If I could remember their names, I'd be happy to do it. No. On my left is Travis Brazil and J.J. Rogers, our producer, and Julia Caesar in tonight's show. Craig Wilson, Andy Ganese, and Martha Wilkinson.
And Patrick Waller.
Tullahoma's own. Show us your guns, Patrick.
Yeah. Well, here they are. Right. Yeah.
I was kidding Patrick about this picture on the poster.
Oh. Has he got a permit to carry them guns?
Yeah.
I want to see that permit.
I think they greased him up. And,
I think they might have.
what is that stuff called? The Botox? Can you have Botox put in your muscles, Patrick?
Well, yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
That's
Yes, you can.
Botox, I think is what that is.
Reverse lipo.
What about this picture of television's Lane Davies? What was that? Maybe in the
last week.
That was in the 40s.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell by the jacket.
That was taken with a brownie.
That was a publicity shot from General Hospital from like the early part of this century.
Wow.
Literally the early part of this century.
I like how the superimposition of my face on the Mac poster just sort of disappeared.
Yeah, you don't really see it.
Yeah.
It's very cool though in larger versions.
Lane, how about giving us a little overview?
I'm right here. I think Martha and I are.
You want an overview of tonight's?
Yeah, you certainly can. Give us a little overview of this sampler that we're doing here today for the young people during the daytime, and then of course for us old guys tonight.
Well, the things that we're doing during the daytime are going to be in tonight's show, but we've got an abbreviated version, and we're taking some real time to explain Shakespeare and the iambic pentameter, the whole language thing, and of course that's what Lane is a genius at, is getting people to understand that and getting actors to understand that. And that's really probably the most important thing.
So it's a bit of a teaching tool as well as an entertainment tool.
Yeah,
absolutely. There will be sections of education
as well as entertaining experience.
Right.
I would say more entertaining than educational, but
yeah, entertainingly
we
educational.
managed to kind of do both. You can't watch Shakespeare without being educated in some ways. He taught us how to be human, when you really examine his work.
The thing that I've appreciated about Lane and what you've done and the things that I've seen at the Tennessee Festival is you and Patrick and all of you fine folks have taken something that has always been presented as sort of a highbrow type of theater, and you've made it understandable for us poor Appalachian folks by at one point even putting double knit flared cowboy pants from Opryland on folks.
That's right. Indeed.
Yes.
And the interesting thing is we do that, believe it or not, without tampering with Shakespeare's words very much. We just try to give it a setting that doesn't look quite as foreign to the audience. And then we sort of liven them up with music. Because I think music livens anything. I mean, Shakespeare used music in most of his plays. We just add a little bit more, and we probably add tunes that are more familiar to my audience. But I like to think we stay true to the actor's intent, and that Shakespeare does not roll over in his grave when the curtain goes up on one of our productions. The idea is just to make the plays seem, we don't dumb them down in any way. We just make them a little bit more accessible is the fancy word for it, but familiar.
Well, we are talking about Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Must we be fancy? Well, of course.
But just the fact that you know Shakespeare when you hear the term and the word for 400 plus years means that it isn't necessarily as inaccessible as we might think. What Lane does a great job of is showing you that it isn't as difficult or inaccessible as you might think, or else we wouldn't have The Lion King or West Side Story or any of the others adaptations, blanket stealing of Shakespeare's plots and plays. We see all the time people using the phrases, which he does a good job of pointing out as well. So I think so many of them have come into the common use that when you see something familiar like Opryland pants and trousers, you are then more comfortable and your ears are a little bit more open, and you understand that they're going through the same things, like he talked about, inventing the human, going through the same things that we go through today, just speaking a little differently.
Well, I tell you what we do is we appreciate you folks, what you do for the arts, and the fact that you've chosen to spend your life and your time in helping to educate young people about the mystery and the beauty of art in itself in a wonderful way with your many, many talents. And we thank you very much for that.
Oh, no, Lane actually threatened us.
Say that again.
We didn't actually choose. Lane has threatened.
And we lost the bet.
You'll never work in this town again.
Yeah, but you're the guy with the sword. How can he threaten?
Exactly.
Huh?
That's right.
It's the big stick is what what works.
Absolutely. Teddy Roosevelt was a great Shakespearean fan.
Folks, thank you very much, and continue to have a great day here in Tullahoma.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm NASCAR driver Mark Martin. You know what's worse than waiting in traffic? Waiting in the emergency room when you're in pain. So choose the ER that's extra fast, ER Extra. ER Extra is specifically engineered to get you the help you need and back in action with race car speed. ER Extra. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
ER Extra. Exclusively at Harton Regional Medical Center.
Get Tullahoma's news first, fast, and free with Tullahoma's News Leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Jimmy and Jenny bring you local weather, sports, community calendar events, birth announcements, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Tullahoma's news, get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
When you see the sign, The Main Event, take a close look inside at a hair studio that offers services by some of the best master stylists in Middle Tennessee. These stylists offer a list of services that compete with large city salons, from trendy cuts for men, women, and children to the latest color techniques, including highlights and bold color accents. Other services offered include permanent hair weaving and relaxing to formal hairstyle for that special occasion. You can also give yourself a very special treat with a full makeover, including full body waxing. For your convenience, we are open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until the last client leaves happy. Call and make your appointment at 931-571-8682 or stop by our Tullahoma location at 207 North Jackson Street. Pamper yourself at The Main Event today.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Welcome back to Living. I am so excited today to have Sheila Williams. Hi, Sheila.
Hi.
Welcome.
Nice
She's
to meet you.
representing the Daughters of the Confederacy, the United Daughters of the Confederacy, and they're fixing to do a big fashion show.
Correct. On April 14th, yes.
April 14th, right here in Tullahoma at the Fine Arts Center, correct?
Correct, correct.
And the fashion show will be from 9
No, actually at 10 o'clock we're going to have a lecture by Dr. Derek Frisbee.
And where's he from?
And he's from MTSU. And
History, obviously.
Murfreesboro, and he is a associate professor of history.
Good.
And he's going to tell the stories of Union doctors and Western Tennessee civilians and how the North viewed the South.
And all that starts at 10 o'clock.
Well, 10 o'clock, it's going to be about 45 minutes, his lecture, and then we're going to have a short break, about 15, 20 minutes of refreshments that the members of the UDC has made, and then we are going to go with our fashion show. And
I thought that sounded like such a great idea. I love the outfit you've got on. Tell me about this.
Thank you. Well, this is 100% silk. And
I can tell it's pretty.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And
was silk easy to get back in those days?
Not really, not really. But some of the upper class.
This would be considered an expensive.
Oh, absolutely,
outfit.
absolutely, yes, absolutely.
And the sesquicentennial is in progress, obviously, and you all started things going on in
last year, and it will go through
2015.
2015. Yes.
2015.
Every year it will be something.
And I'm excited about that because there's so much history in this region.
Absolutely.
That we can tell about the Civil War. And
Absolutely.
Your whole outfit, I noticed you have on gloves, and I'll bet there's pantaloons under there.
Yes.
And it took you a while to get dressed?
Absolutely.
Can you get dressed by yourself?
Not really. If you're putting on a corset, no.
You got to have
you should have help, yes.
to do it.
Because you need somebody to pull those strings.
To pull those strings.
Right.
Shades of Miss Scarlett O'Hara. We have some models with us today.
I do have a few other
now,
members,
all
yes.
these girls that are modeling today will also be modeling on the 14th.
Correct.
Along with a lot of teenage girls and
some other members,
some other
absolutely.
ladies. And this event is not just for people in my age group. It's for you tell me who this is and what she's wearing.
This is Sharon Schroeder. She's our first vice president. And of course you can see that's a full gown there. And
now she told me that
pantaloons,
can we see
yes.
the pantaloons again? You got to have on your pantaloons back during the Civil War.
Sharon,
You'd be
there we go.
Pretty
There's
tacky.
the pantaloons.
And hose, black, probably cotton stockings.
It goes all the way up to the knees.
And maybe lace-up shoes.
Right, absolutely, absolutely.
And she told me something interesting, that the dress itself was pretty simple, but they always embellished them with maybe a crocheted collar and cuffs and a belt and that piece that goes, what do you call it? Cummerbund, sort of. And that, I think it makes it look
They're different
really
sizes,
nice.
correct.
Different sizes.
And then you detail it with either a cameo. Sometimes you had pearls. And of course the headdressing was always something exquisite.
A lady would not be seen out without her parasol because she must not get too much sun up on her face. However,
Correct.
that quickly ended after the war because the women were in the fields.
Correct.
You want to turn around once? Turn
around?
Turn around and let us see the back of the dress. I love it. I think that is great. Love the hat.
Yes.
Okay.
And your snood that you have on your hair. Yes.
Okay.
Feathers were always
feathers were big, and people were killing fowl that had feathers, so they stuck them in their hats, and they were excited about that. That was beautiful. I love it. And I know you're going to have a lot of models. Do you have any idea how many?
I think we have about 10 models, different models.
And so most of the dresses, they're mostly dresses?
Well, we go from day dresses to your morning dresses, which are the widow dresses. That's what we're going to do.
The widow dress.
The widow dress, which is all in black.
It makes me think of Corrington and...
Well, think of Scarlett O'Hara.
Yes.
And for her to put her veil up and dance was just...
Oh, my goodness.
That's why her aunt...
Tramp.
Right, exactly. That's why her aunt fainted.
Exactly.
I mean, that was her
I love this thing around your hair.
It's a snood.
It's a, what do you call it?
Snood.
A snood. And that held your hair in place, I guess.
Correct.
A little bit like a hairnet these days. All right, we have another model. Let's take a look. This is
Lessa Walker. And Lessa has,
she has
and she has many outfits.
Does she?
Yes.
She's going to model several outfits.
Absolutely.
And she has her fan.
Yes.
A lady must always be fanning, and it was hot in the South.
True.
And so the fan came in handy.
Not only that, there is a language of the fan.
Oh, really?
Tell
me about that.
If you were a young lady and you were at a dance and you wanted to attract someone, there were different ways that you would...
That you moved your fan.
Exactly, and that indicated...
Can you show us some of those ways, which you know? Like
I don't
if you
know.
close your fan, then open it and hide your...
You weren't interested if you snapped it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
If you snapped it too, you weren't interested.
Right.
And then how do you show you're interested in a gentleman sitting there? Oh my goodness, just fanning yourself like you're hot.
Yes. So hopefully if we have time, we are going to try to do that. If we have time. It's very interesting. Yeah, in fact, Sharon will probably do that for us.
Well, I can't think of a better way to get history taught and the people reminded of what a heritage we have here.
It is important.
And regardless of really whether you're Confederacy or Union, there's still history to be learned. And I think the fact that you all are modeling and having a lecture over at the Fine Arts Center on April 14th, beginning at 10 o'clock, and it will close at
whenever
you're ready to go.
Right, whenever we're done. I'm thinking about an hour and a half.
Yeah,
that our show would be,
and there will be refreshments.
Right, and we would like to have reservations if we can, because anyone knowing the center,
do
you're
I know
limited.
the Fine Arts Center's phone number? 1234, something like that. Don't quote me.
They can call me.
Have it in the back.
No, they have to call me.
Oh, they have to call you.
Yeah.
What's that number?
My number is 931-924-3000. And the only reason why we ask for that is they're limited with their seating.
So
if you know the fine arts. Well, we're going to try to have 2 rooms. If we have at least 50 people, we're going to try the 2 rooms. I think we can fit 20, 25
We may want
in
to
it.
do this again over at the Civic Center. All right, there's the phone number to call for reservations. Be sure and call. And,
oh, yes. We do have a website.
Oh, do you?
Oh, it's a wonderful website. It's www.kirbysmith327.com.
327.com. Kirby Smith.
327.com.
And you can find all about.
It'll tell you everything.
Pictures of your
we'll show
outfits?
everything. Yes, and there's a history there and everything. And there's where to contact if you want to become a member. We will have applications.
I wanted to ask you about that. So you'll have applications at the Art Center for people that would like to get physically involved.
Yes.
With your program.
Yes.
I know you've been doing other things. The Shiloh thing. When was that?
That was this weekend. Actually, Lessa was down there, and they had over 100 cannons, and they did an actual reenactment.
That's awesome.
They're getting very much into it because of the
all the soldiers and everything. That's really good. And the ladies, remember, people that have maybe don't know the history, but the ladies and the children would often sit on the hill and watch the battle below. And that sounds brutal, but there was no TV, there was no radio. That's the way you got the news, and that's part of the entertainment, which sounds a little
true.
gross.
And they thought it was only going to be a short war. Of course, we know that went on and on.
Didn't work out.
Right, exactly.
And things changed. What happened in the world during the war.
True.
There's so many stories to be told.
I just want to mention some other things that we do. I mean, the main thing that we do is preserve history. That's what we're after. And then the second most important is teaching about it. And we are involved with different organizations. We're very active with Cowan. Tennessee. We do Polly Crockett, and we have the old courthouse down there, and we've done a tea down there, and showed how the tea was at that time.
Because it was very precise, wasn't it?
Exactly.
And lots of etiquette.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes. The way you poured the tea and everything. Absolutely.
We need to go back to some of that.
So we do that.
Loose with things we do.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
When did you get interested in becoming involved?
Actually, it was through my husband. My husband is commander of the Manchester Camp 72 right now, and we used to go to different functions that they did, and then I got involved with Joyce Wilkinson, which many of you probably know. She's from this area and very active, her and OB, and I started helping her out, and then I just got interested. She asked me if I wanted to be a member, and
you did,
and I did, and actually. Our chapter was chartered in 2002 in August.
What's that charter number? Where are we supposed to get
327 is your number. Is our chapter number, and they started out with 27 members when they chartered this. We have 60 members right now, and we have another 7 potential new members. So we are growing leaps and bounds, which is great.
That's wonderful. It really is. That's a lot to say, and a lot of energy goes into it.
It sure does.
I know that it does, and I wish we had more time. My goodness, we got to go.
Okay, it's been great.
It was so great having you on our show.
Thank you for having us.
And I remind you, Saturday at the Art Center to call for reservations if you can, and don't pass up this wonderful opportunity to get involved in the history of the Confederacy. Thank you so much. We'll be back.
I went to several colleges, but when I stepped into this gym, it just felt like home.
Just learning the different techniques and the way Mr. Bryan tells us how to study the subject. Art, that's where it's really at for me.
I decided to go to nursing because I've always wanted to help people. You make those connections that you probably never forget. This is my motto, my future.
If you're interested in the freshest China buffet in the area, you've got to visit the China Super Buffet and the Walmart Shopping Center in Deckard. Featuring all the Asian dishes you have come to love, the China Super Lunch Buffet starts at $6.39 and the dinner buffet at $9.99. Sushi is available all day, every day, and crab legs every night from 3:30 till close. Seniors get a 10% discount. Kids 3 to 5 eat free Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights. Happy hour is 5 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday with $1.29 drafts. Leo and his staff will be waiting for you at the China Super Buffet, Walmart Shopping Center in Deckard.
I'm Marley Matlin for the American Red Cross. In an emergency, infants and children can't always tell you what's wrong. Being able to read critical signs and knowing how to respond can make all the difference. The Red Cross offers infant and child CPR training, where you can learn how to recognize and respond to respiratory and cardiac emergencies. Visit www.redcross.org or call 1-800-HELP-NOW. Together, we can save a life.
Around for things other people get right away just doesn't make much sense. Get high-speed Charter internet and enjoy downloads way faster than DSL.
I hope you paid attention to the China Super Buffet. They're a new sponsor with us over in Deckard, and Leo and that crew over there, they have good stuff. Daryl and the whole bunch, a bunch of young people, good cooks, good food. Go over there and give them a try. And we also have that certificate on Tennessee Traveler. So next week you can get if you want to tune in at 7 o'clock on Monday, you can get a $20 certificate for only $10 to the China Buffet. Go over there and try it out at half price. Watch Tennessee Traveler on Monday night. Now, talking about food, Mayor Curley the other day had a walk-in tour of some of the restaurants in town who have done remodels. And what it was an opportunity for folks to walk around and see how these people have invested their money in buildings in Tullahoma and, you know, making everything better, trying to push and have a active, vital, young town, and did a great job. And we went to different places. We went to the station, the Diamond Brothers station that they took over down on Lincoln and Cedar Lane. We had something to drink there. Then we went to Emil's for hors d'oeuvre, went to Daddy Billy's for a salad, London's for a sandwich, and then to the Dairy Queen for some ice cream and dessert. So let's go to that video right now. We had a great time.
Nice, but I'm not going to do that. It is Friday.
So this is certificate of recognition presented to West Lincoln Market. Recognition and appreciation for your investment in Tullahoma.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'd just like to thank everyone for stopping by the new West Lincoln Market. Thank you for drawing attention to what local businesses have tried to do to revamp the corner here. You know, Tullahoma Drugs has, they've done a good job on the exterior of their building. We're really trying to brighten this side of town over here. Thank you, Mr. Curley, for drawing attention to local business owners reinvesting in their businesses here locally.
Good. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
I think I know everybody here. My husband George and I are the owners here, and we opened in December of 2001, and we are very happy that this year we were able to put in about, I guess, well, the bills are still coming in. So, you know, it's going to be about a $45,000, $50,000 or so investment into our building and our equipment to do some new things. Okay, and one is to try to make it more attractive than it was. It needed some much needed updating since it's 107 years old. One of the main things we had to do, and one of the most costly parts of it, was we had to completely rebuild our kitchen from ground up. The floor was falling in. It's over an old cellar. Literally at one point we thought Eugene, who's been working for us back there for about 4 years, we thought we were going to kind of see him hanging from a girder from the cellar because it had gotten that bad. So we completely gutted the kitchen. We put in all new joists, beams, girders, subflooring. Then we put in all commercial tile, tiled up the walls, which will now enable him to, do a proper spray cleaning. All these things that we couldn't do when we opened 10 plus years ago on a shoestring budget. So we're pleased we got that done. In addition, we've done some updating on our painting and kind of given it a new fresh feel. We put on a new roof. We've had the siding replaced in the areas that had vinyl siding. And then our newest addition is right here, which we try very hard to not look like an addition. But this is our newest addition, and that's where we're actually going to end up. And that's going to be our new Fresh Market, which will open on Tuesday. The equipment goes in this weekend. They literally just finished the last minute touches on it yesterday. As a matter of fact, there's still one faceplate you'll notice missing. But they just finished that yesterday. So we've got that going, and in our Fresh Market we'll be featuring fresh fish and seafood on Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays. And then Tuesday through Saturday we'll have fresh prepared salads, things that you can grab and go very quickly for lunch, soups, hot and cold, our things like our chicken salad by the pint, tomato cheese, fresh hummus, George's homemade dressings, and some of his condiments, as well as fresh baked breads, which he's now able to bake because he got a new convection oven as part of this process, which he's thrilled about. And for those of you who are on Facebook, you may have seen my picture that I posted on Facebook of George that I caught of him through the doorway gazing at his new kitchen, at which point I really wanted, I didn't have a comment section on this particular photograph, but I wanted to write, renovation project, X $1,000, new convection oven, X $1,000, and the look on George's face, gazing at his new kitchen, priceless. Oh, thank you so much. Very sweet. Thank you.
Great location. You got that 9-story back right next door.
We appreciate the city's support.
Yeah, it's kind of neat, isn't it?
Great to have the community and cities and things in place.
I wanted to basically save a historic piece of property out there in Oklahoma and make it something special again. So I've been working for the last 2.5 months, basically just gutting the place out and start fresh to give it a new feeling. And I started with the ceiling went all the way to the floor with the remodel. We painted the ceiling, the walls. We saved the old barn wood that John had put up, and of course the brick. But to accent the brick, I put the wood. We trimmed it all out with the wood. This was never here before. And actually, my plumber had some old barn wood in his barn, and he let me use it to build my office with. And I thought it kind of tied in with the old theme. Put a brand new bar in. We went with the darker stains and the lighter stain accent on the bottom. And the same thing, the same color on the wall as the color that's on the bottom of the bar here. And these tabletops, if you look carefully, you can see where people have carved their names into them. And these were original tables from Daddy Billy. So I actually saved the tops and I sanded them and stained them. And then we did the built-ons on the sides here. So it's been a big project, but I'm glad to be out of the construction business at this point. Thank you guys, and obviously, I built a brand new patio out back. I'll show you guys that when you get through eating. And new bathrooms, and built a brand new kitchen with the hood system, fryers, grills, and all that. So hopefully, we'll be able to better serve people and have more to offer in years to come. So. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it.
Appreciation for your investment in Tullahoma. Thank you. So we do appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Regional bar was on the other side of that arch.
which we bought this building about 2 years ago, which had just been it sat vacant for many years, and it was in really bad condition. There was an arch that had been bricked in, so we thought maybe we could knock that arch out and maybe it'll hold, and it did. So it added a nice feature of this building. We just gutted it and redid it, except for the ceiling, which was the original ceiling. We were able to save it. And once one person tries the food here, we have a customer that comes back regularly. You know, so if I can get somebody fed in here, they always come back. But I'm going to run a check on some of y'all's food and hopefully bring some right back.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for taking time out of your day to come see us. Scott and Short Ridge. We started the renovation, I think, the first day of February, actually. And we hired a company who had done many Dairy Queens, and we used a lot of local electricians and plumbers and things like that. Took them about 5 weeks. We had drive-through open most of the time. Some of the things that are different, obviously the inside is totally different, the outside is fantastic. Brand new bathrooms, which everybody will probably enjoy. We've also started table service here, so once you get your food, we give you once you place your order, we give you a little number and you go get a drink and have a seat and bring the food out to you, so we don't make you work too much.
We appreciate you very much. We prepared a certificate of recognition, presented to Dairy Queen in recognition and appreciation for your investment in Colorado. Thank you very much.
Hi folks, I'm with Mayor Lane Curley, and we have just finished a walking, eating tour of some of the new renovations of local establishments that are helping Tullahoma have find a fresher pace in business. And on this, most of it's been about eating.
One of my favorite topics. We've been to 5 different establishments today, and these are organizations that have invested in the community, that renovated their facilities. We've been to the new West Lincoln Street Market on West Lincoln Street, and then we've also been to Daddy Billy's, we've been to London's, we've been to Emil's, and now we're at Dairy Queen. And these are people that have made, as I said, an investment in the community, and we really do appreciate that. And Tullahoma wants to be even more of a retail destination than we are, and when these companies invest and they spruce up the town, it looks good.
Lane, I think this is a great idea. You know, we've had progressive suppers at our churches and different groups from time to time. This is the first time it's been done with just local business people and chamber folks and just guests, and it's a great idea. You've had a wonderful job putting this together, and we're all full.
Yes, we are.
Nobody has to cook supper now. My mayor, our mayor, Lane Curley, Mayor of Tullahoma, did a great job, as we knew that.
Citizens Tri-County Bank has the checking, loans, savings, and traditional banking services you want. Plus free internet banking and bill pay, bank your change, Visa gift card, and lots more state-of-the-art banking services. We focus on the service and services you want. So you can bank when, where, and how you want. At our offices or from just about anywhere. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank you'll ever need.
If you're looking for a great atmosphere, good music, an open design, and a staff that understands what it takes to serve the best food around, you'll find it at the Timberloft Restaurant in Manchester. Locally owned and operated, the Timberloft features smoked meats, prime rib, black Angus steaks, sandwiches, burgers, pastas, incredible appetizers and sides, and decadent desserts made in-house. Searching for a new place to hang out with company clients and friends? With a cozy feel, a quiet bar, awesome drinks, and big city quality food, you found it when you visit the Timberloft. 1165 Woodbury Highway, Manchester. Catering and party planning available. The Timberloft. Spectacular.
This facility was built literally on the international date line to bring Charter customers tomorrow's technology first. Like Charter Internet, which was just made faster again With speeds up to 100 megs, you can download a movie in 2 minutes. The #1 internet service provider in the nation. Click.
Fogelman, good luck with the presentation tomorrow.
Already nailed it.
Get Charter Internet Express for only $19.99 a month.
Hello and welcome back to Just Plain Living. I'm Lauren Foster. I'm here with Joyce Prusak. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me again.
We really enjoy having you on here. You always have great fun things to say. Joyce is with the Children's Advocacy Center, and we have an event. Tell us about it.
We do have an event, and we have a big fun party.
Party. That's what
we've always tried to do some kind of theme for our event. Last year we did a British theme. We've done a Mardi Gras, but we decided we wanted to bring it home and remind people that they're coming to an event with a cause. So we're calling it Party with a Purpose, and we just want people to come, have a good time, but not forget that they're having a good time to benefit the children that we serve here in Coffee County.
Okay, awesome. And when is the event?
It is next Friday, April 13th, so Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
We're hoping it's a lucky Friday the 13th for us. It starts at 6 o'clock at the Manchester Coffee County Conference Center. We have a silent auction, a live auction. Dancing is going to start at 6 p.m. when people get there, so it's not, no waiting till after dinner. We're just going to let the music play all night.
Awesome. How fun.
It is going to be fun. Christopher Equipment is providing us with their new photo booth, so we can do those little photo strips for people and just kind of let people, have an excuse to party and let loose. And with this wonderful weather and, spring coming in so nice, it's just a good time to be out.
Great turnout.
I hope.
Now, what is the music, a band or a DJ?
We're having a DJ this year. We're bringing in a DJ that does the big video screens with the strobe lights and just trying to set the mood for people to relax, kick back. So hopefully somebody can find some kind of music they like. Right. With bands, sometimes somebody will be like, oh, that's not my style, or that sort of thing. But this time we're going to cover the gamut. We'll do slow, we'll do, dancing, whatever people want to hear.
Your DJ will have a lot more options to choose from.
Exactly.
Okay, and what is admission and how do we get tickets?
You can get tickets by calling the Children's Advocacy Center. It's 723-8888, and they're $65 per person, $125 per couple, with all benefits proceeds coming directly to us. We have a really nice meal, chicken and steak dinner, chocolate fountain, all the fixings. So it's going to be a nice event.
They do a really great job over at the conference center with those events. I've been to a couple this year, and the food's really, really good.
They do.
And that sounds like a really great time. Okay, so, and it's a great cause. Tell us what the Children's Advocacy Center does.
We serve children in Coffee County who have been victims of abuse. And we have been in existence since summer of 2005. We always do our event in April because April is Child Abuse Awareness Month. Some people may have seen we have had blue flags sprout. In Tullahoma, they're in front of U.S. Bank. And in Manchester, they're in front of Coffee County Bank. And this year we put out 1,996 flags to represent the number of children that we've served since opening.
Say that number again?
1,996.
That's how many children over
since summer of 2005.
Okay, since your inception.
Yep.
Wow.
So, and unfortunately our numbers are getting higher as opposed to smaller. We've seen an increase in children in the past 3 months that are about 60% over where we were last year.
Oh, goodness.
So we're not sure what's happening, but we're glad we're there for them.
Could it be related to the economy?
We do know some of it is economy related because people are
stressed.
They're stressed, which puts stressors on the family. Children are being left with extended family or friends people may not know very well because child care is an issue. So you have those factors in. And then part of it is a double-edged sword for us because the more awareness you do, the more you pay attention to the problem and let people know that there's resources available, the more they're going to take advantage of those resources. So
it could actually be a good thing in that there's not more abuse, but you're actually getting to more of the victims.
Right, we're just hearing about it more.
I really like the positive slant if we
like
could ever find it. Yeah.
We like that too. We keep saying if someone would put us out of business, we would be more than happy.
Right, more than happy. Now, what is the recommendation if you see a child that's being neglected or abused, or how do we reach you?
The
first thing that we recommend is if the child's in immediate danger, you call law enforcement, you call 911. Otherwise, you can call, there's a statewide child abuse hotline, which is 877-237-0004. Or if you have a question about what's going on, and you're not sure what to do, you can feel free to call us at the Advocacy Center, 723-8888, and we'll walk you through, the steps you need to do to make a report. The district attorney's office is great. You can call over there, and if you're not sure if you need to report something, because you can report something directly to them. But the one thing we're really fortunate about, and there was a lot of talk about reporting abuse when all that Penn State news broke, is that the laws in Tennessee are really, really very clear. Anytime somebody suspects that a child has been a victim of abuse, you don't have to know it's fact. You don't have to see anything. If you suspect that there's some kind of abuse going on, it's the law that you have to report it.
I was not aware of that. So if you turn your head and ignore a sign that a child is being abused, you're breaking the law.
Absolutely.
Most definitely. So. Pay attention. Pay attention, everybody, and report signs of child abuse. Okay, now, Child Abuse Awareness Month is all April.
It is all April.
And what kind of things go along with that?
Well, we just try to do a lot of awareness activities, speak at various events throughout the community, do the flags. There'll be some newspaper articles coming out this month just trying to, let people know that we're out there. I know the people that work these cases from the Department of Children's Services, law enforcement usually don't like us in April because a lot of the calls come in again and they get really busy. But that's really what we're there for, and just reminding people that it really is a severe problem. Unfortunately, Coffee County is ranked third worst in the state for the number of children not only reported abused, but the number of children that actually, when an investigation has happened, that they say abuse has happened per capita. So our numbers are probably double what Memphis is, Shelby County, if not more than double. I think theirs is 10.6%, where ours is over 22%.
Oh my goodness, that's terrible. Okay, so how can we help as the ordinary citizen? What can we do for your organization?
We ask that, first of all, that if you have children in your life, no matter what, if it's a grandchild, a niece, a nephew, that you pay attention to that child and, give them an ear if they need it, and do what you need to do if you do suspect something, that a child is being abused, by calling us, by calling the hotline, just helping us get the word out there and not being afraid to talk about it, because that's the biggest thing. There's a lot of shame attached to child abuse. People would like to think it doesn't happen, but it does. So the more people talk about it, the better off we are. It brings attention to the issue. It brings attention to the children who need the resources, and that's our biggest challenge, is making sure the resources are there.
How is the Children's Advocacy Center funded?
We are funded about 60% through state grants, and then the other 40% through either private foundations, our fundraisers throughout the year, which we have many, and then private donations. So we rely a lot on the community, and we're really, really fortunate. We have a great community that's been tremendously supportive of our efforts. We wouldn't be where we are today if it weren't for them.
Absolutely. So again, that event is on the 13th. That's the number that you can call now. Is there a website for more information about it?
It's www.coffeecountycac.org.
coffeecountycac.org is the website. And okay, again, it's on the 13th. It's the Manchester Coffee County Conference Center.
Yep.
Starts at 6 with dancing. Tickets are $65. I'm quizzing myself. $65 per person. And how much per couple?
$125.
$125 per couple. So be sure and go out to that event and support the Children's Advocacy Center. They do very, very important work. And again, do be aware if you see children that are being abused, any sign, if you suspect abuse, it's your obligation by law to report that and let somebody know about it by calling law enforcement, calling you, or the Department of Human Services.
Children's Services,
Of Children's Services. Okay, awesome. Well, that wraps us up for today, I believe.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to add?
No, we just want to thank everybody for the support that they do give us, because it makes a world of difference.
All right, and be sure to come back on the show when you have your next event, and let us help you promote it.
Thank you very much.
All right, and y'all stay with us. We'll be back with more of Just Plain Living after this.
Instead of all that attention, all you do want
Hello, this is J.D. Oliver from the Smokehouse on Mount Eagle Mountain. Me and my sisters Nancy and Betsy would like to thank you all for your continued support. This year we're celebrating our 50-year anniversary at the Smokehouse. In conjunction with our 50-year celebration, we are bringing Music on the Mountain every Saturday night at 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. featuring the best of Nashville. We have had some wonderful singers, hit songwriters, and Nashville's rising stars have taken the stage. Come out this Saturday night and every Saturday night through the end of the year. Make it a date night or bring the whole family. Help us celebrate 50 years in the community. Music on the Mountain is free every Saturday night at Jim Oliver's Smokehouse.
Hey, this is Sean Mayer. I'd like to invite everybody out to the Smokehouse every Saturday night for great music and awesome food.
Thank you very much, y'all.
Some people think that pressing their on-demand button will cost money or make their house explode or something. Of course, neither of these things is true. On-demand is just a way to access thousands of free movies and TV shows. The code to blow up a house is actually channel up, channel down, 2*77.
On demand, thousands of free movies and TV shows on your schedule, and nothing bad.
All right, folks, I'm laughing because I'm getting ready to introduce my buddy and somebody that's been around this town forever, and he's the athletic director at Tullahoma High School, Coach Jerry Mathis, and he's here with us today to talk a little bit about high school sports and what's going on in that arena. And then once we get a little clarification on that, we're going to talk about the way they're rearranging some of the schools as far as what divisions and regions you play in, and the choices we have to make here coming up pretty soon.
We do. We have to make some choices about where do we want to be, who we want to play, and what's going to be better for Tullahoma High School and the entire state of Tennessee. That deals with the TSSAA Board of Control. We'll meet in June, and we're going to find out, we get the input from all the district schools. And for example, my District 4 goes all the way up to Mount Juliet and back down to Lincoln County and around. And we have to listen to see what they say and what they want to do, and then we'll address what's best for the athletes and for the programs in the state of Tennessee.
Mount Juliet.
Yep.
I hate going up there to play football.
Well, it's a tough play. They got a great athletic program up there, and the principal of Mount Juliet High School is the guy that my teams used to participate. Mel Brown, he was the head coach at McGavock, and we're still real close friends.
Yeah,
and I get to talk to Mel every once in a while, and we used to compete vigorously. We got after each other quite often, so it was fun. We had a good time.
Yeah. Well, we had, just going back a little bit to this, let's look at this year starting in 2011. We had a good football year.
We did.
We didn't go quite as far maybe as we could have gone in the playoff deal, but we had a good year, and it was an exciting season. And Coach Olive and his staff did a good job.
They always do. I think they really think a lot of their kids. They think a lot of their program. They want to do what's right, and they want to represent Tullahoma and the city. And the school system. They want to do that as well as they possibly can, and they do a great job with that. But when you get to the playoffs, you never know.
You never know. Ask
about
the
great
pros.
Teams. Well, and I've been there many times, and I try to figure out what happened. I can tell you what happened. The other team. That day, they were just a bit better than we were.
That day.
So that happens.
Yeah. Then we move into basketball, and our boys' basketball team won the conference this year. That hadn't happened in since 33 years?
33 years. So I think it happened in 1979, something like that. So it's been a long time, but being district champions, and they really had a great chance. They could have probably gone to the state. Little things had fallen in the proper perspective at the right time. They would have been able to move on. But again, you're talking about 15, 16, 17-year-old kids, and things are going to happen. And it's not their fault. It's not anyone's fault. It just happens.
It just happens.
That's just part of it.
Then you've got Dale Alsop, who's come in and left Coffee County, where he was athletic director, and come over here, and he's taking on the girls' basketball program.
and
so
is
as far as
happy.
I'm concerned, that's a huge, wonderful step forward there. In
And
that program.
he's happy as a lark. He'll tell you every day. He said, "I'm as happy as I can be. As long as I can stay here, I'm going to stay." So
saw him walking down the hall the other day. I was over there and had a big old smile on his face.
Well, he does, and he's enjoying it. And I really think the girls responded really well to him because he's a great guy, and he's got the program. You know, he's got the right place here. I think he came home, and that's what he wanted to do.
Yeah, and he was a very well respected basketball player himself.
You really think so,
when
huh?
he played.
I think he and his brother both were really something else.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah. I know this. I know his brother. He played when we were at Franklin County High School, and he scored like 30 or 40 points against a team. And we at Franklin County said he won't do it against us. Well, he didn't. He scored 47. So wasn't much we could do, but that happened. So.
Yeah. Good player.
Great
good player.
athlete. Yeah.
So then you're moving into your baseball season.
Baseball season.
And along with folks, we're not. I don't want you to think that we don't care about the volleyball and the soccer and all the other stuff, but you can't name it all off. We don't have a whole lot of time. But baseball season, you're having a good show in baseball.
Having a good show. We beat Farragut this past weekend. They were undefeated. They were defending state champs. We beat Farragut 1-0. The kids
that must
are playing
have been a great ball game.
Great ball game.
1-0 is a good ball game.
It's always a good game, and he has some pretty sound players right now. They're working hard, and I think they're the type team that's going to progressively get better at the end of the year, and that's what you want.
He has some young players on that team as well, doesn't he?
He has some young players. He has two pitchers that are a junior and a sophomore that will be back next year again. The two Sheffield kids are exceptional pitchers. He has the Repke kid, who is a left-hander, who's got all the talent in the world, and he's got the little Tom's boy. The other day pitched a great game against Farragut. I think he pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 or 3 hits. He's got the little, the Rogers kid. I'm just naming the ones that I know something about.
And I'm surprised that you hear about the stick. They got pretty good stick too. They can hit the ball.
Well, and what you want them to come together at the end of the year, because that's what people remember.
Right.
They don't remember much about the regular season. I remember in 1997 we were state runner-up. I think we lost 10 or 11 games, but people could tell you less about that.
Right.
Well, we went all the way to the finals.
All the way to the finals.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Think they're happy in Kentucky today?
No, they're not, and not a bit of blue there at all. No. But it's just something. I mean, Kentucky, what he did with those guys was just phenomenal. You have freshmen and sophomores and do what they did.
Nothing overcomes talent other than hard work. Talent has got to lay down and somebody else work hard, and then talent gets beat. But if talent works hard, it's tough to.
It's hard to defeat that talent, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah. Sure is. So, as we talk about all that, and of course we've got track and we've got Coach Cardwell's teams and all the other sports that we have, because we have a lot of sports. They can even bowl. We have a bowling team.
We have bowling, and this was our first year, and it's a sanctioned TSSAA sport, and we have a boys and girls bowling team, and they did exceptionally well.
Coach
Searcy.
I interviewed him and went to a couple of the matches and filmed them, and they were, listen, those kids were having a great time.
They did.
And let me tell you what, that bowling alley was full of supporters over there and people getting behind that bowling team. Well, and I think that's wonderful.
And that's what it's about. There's some kids got to participate in bowling that, outstanding athletes that may not be involved in something else. So we opened up something else for them, so that's good.
All right, well, now that we've touched on that, let's get back just a little bit to the fact that I know every year, it seems like to me every year, and I'm more involved in the football side of it. We went to Nashville and played those Nashville teams for a while. Now we're away from that, and how does all of that get decided, Jerry? Who makes those changes and who makes those decisions as to whether Tullahoma is going to go east to play or west to play or to Nashville or to Chattanooga? How do y'all? And I know it'll probably take an hour show to deal with that, but just a sort of a short overview of how that
what we
happens.
do, we get 12 coaches from all over the state of Tennessee. We bring those 12 coaches in. They sit down at the Board of Control at TSSAA on Lebanon Pike and Hermitage, and they sit down and they decide what they would like to see, how they would like to see it done, how they do the playoffs, what we need to do to help them, and we're going to take their input and we're going to try to go from there and say, all right, this is what the coaches want. We want it to be unanimous. It usually is. So people think that the TSSAA and the Board of Control and
now, are you on the Board of Control?
I'm on the Board of Control, and I've been on that now for 6 years, and it's been a great thing. It's you get to see the other side of everything, and you know that you've got to treat all these A, AA, AAA, 5A, whatever it is, you got to treat them all the same because it's very important to them. And those coaches come in and they decide this is what we'd like to do, then we'll take and listen to the other schools from throughout the state and see what there's. Then we put all of it together, and when we put it together, we come up with, all right, what's best for the school? Number one is what's going to cut down on the travel, how they're going to be able to, hey, right now the economy is killing high school athletics. So we're trying to keep them from having to travel because they can't afford it. So we want to make sure. That's the reason, you know, we used to be in there with Nashville. All of a sudden we're back in here with Franklin County, Lincoln County, and all that. That's the Z plan or the 6A plan. Now, if we keep 6A football, that's exactly where we'll stay. We have a lot of people like to see all sports in the same. In other words, baseball and everybody in the same thing. So that's what we're looking at.
What that also does for us is that allows us, when Franklin County comes to Tullahoma versus Stratford in Nashville, or Lincoln County, and the stadium's full versus Stratford, or one of those teams brings 12, 15 people, you know, it affects the cash flow for that program as well, playing these local rivals in local towns that we know and have played before.
Well, and it takes a lot of money just to run one football game. You're talking about officials, you're talking about the gatekeepers, you're talking about security, you're talking about the lights, you're talking about the maintenance of the field, having to paint it. It just takes a lot of work and a lot of money to make that happen. So and
we have a very impressive new stadium. It's wonderful.
It's second to
state of the art, you know, and that. And as we talk about that, give us a little update. We got about a little bit of time left on what's going to happen. I know you've been working as an alderman and also as athletic director very diligently in trying to get the project put together on the baseball stadium.
Baseball stadium
reconstruction or revitalization.
Revitalization will start in October the 1st. We're waiting until all of your summer programs and all of your programs dealing with spring sports and everything is completely finished, and the money's appropriated for that right now. Underneath the stadium, we'll start and we'll go under, sandblast, paint, do what needs to do. Then we'll go to the next stage, new press box, and go from there. And when eventually we're going to have the stadium's going to look just as nice as it's always looked, and you don't want to get rid of that stadium.
Oh no! Oh heavens no!
You can't do that. It's got to stay here because wherever I go, and I do run the baseball at the TSSAA state, and everywhere I go, that stadium's one thing sticks in their mind.
Yeah.
Something
Fred
else.
Grider and them, they went and picked it up in parts and pieces, brought it up here and put it back together.
7 truckloads, and they did it. And they said they'll never get it back together. And Milner Carden was in on that group, and they got it back together.
They got it back together.
Yeah.
Coach Mathis, always a pleasure of having you here with us, buddy. Don't be a stranger.
I'll try my best not to be.
Okay. All right. Folks, we'll be right back after these messages.
Serving you as a local firefighter.
Proudly served our country in the United States Air Force. Serving Tullahoma.
Helping our kids.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop. Your comfort is our service. We'd like to thank Tullahoma for the privilege of serving your heating and cooling needs.
How can toys like these lead to a 6-year-old's death and leave another child permanently brain damaged? Because they're not toys at all. A safety message from your local fire department and this station.
Oh, there's my cat. Should I put her away?
Lighten it up a little bit.
How's this? Great. Good. There we go.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors, and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Cove Lake, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Martin Weekly, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, Rugby in the Big South Fork, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back.
We had so much fun.
Hey, the dog.
The dog.
You like the dog.
Yeah.
That was a cute
She always
dog.
likes the dogs.
I
hope somebody takes that little dog. He needs a home.
You know, that this program does really well for them. They usually adopt those puppies up.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, it's a good thing for them.
Stretch. We got a couple more things while we go. Don't
forget the daughters of not the daughters, but the distinguished young women.
Distinguished young women.
We'll be here next week.
They'll be here next week.
Good.
So we got the Smithsonian up in Cowan up there. It's still going to be there for a while. You folks need to go up there, Mr. O.B. Wilkinson. It's a great event. That is a wonderful exhibit. You need to go see that. And if you like cage fights,
MMA.
The MMA in Winchester this weekend on Saturday.
That's right.
Man, they will absolutely put on a show. Yeah. Bunny puts on a show. It's not just a fight; it's an event.
And it raises a lot of money for education.
Yes,
it's a worthy event.
It's a good thing. So if you want to go to either one of those, do that. Bell Buckle Cafe, Easter Buffet, this coming Sunday. Bill Hall, Jay Gregory, all that wonderful food down there. Just go and have a big time and listen to some great music.
It'll be fun.
It'll be that's a fun place to be.
And happy Easter, for heaven's sakes.
Yeah.
Go out and gather eggs or whatever you do.
Go out and find an egg. Find an egg.
Easter egg hunt.
And be a good egg.
Yeah, be a good egg. And like I said earlier, if you need to spice it up, we've got some Blazing Rectum
We didn't have the bunny
barbecue
today.
sauce.
What happened to our bunny?
Well, the bunny, I think the bunny got caught in a trap.
Oh no!
And so the bunny and it scraped some of her toenail polish.
Oh no!
So get ready for Easter. She's having to get their toenails redone.
Got to clean up her bunny suit.
Got to clean up her, get her foot fixed, and to where she'll be able to deliver
just tell the
those
bunny
eggs.
that I miss the bunny.
Bunny's this time of year the bunny's busy.
Very busy.
You know, we've been fortunate in the years past to have as much bunny time as we've had.
I know. Bunny time.
That bunny time's good stuff now.
What
a set of ears.
That's not fair. The Easter Bunny only has to work one day. What about the poor Tooth Fairy?
Oh, give it up for the Tooth Fairy. Oh, my goodness. I haven't seen her in a while. Have you?
Flying around.
There was a picture on Facebook of this little boy that his front tooth was knocked out. If anybody sees my tooth on the T-ball court, please be sure it gets to the Tooth Fairy.
Give it to the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here we go. The other day, I don't know if you folks saw this, but there was some of the most incredible clouds in the sky.
What a great picture.
And Bob Payne got that. We were standing here, and I was looking at it, and it looked like somebody sprayed whipped cream in the air.
Oh, cool.
And it was just an incredible cloud formation. And so, I don't know, there's a name for it, but we don't know how to pronounce it, so we're not going to try.
Was that cumulus cloud?
No, that's not cumulus. That's
okay.
something else.
When I was a kid, I used to lay out on the yard or wherever and make pictures of the clouds. Did you ever do that?
Yes.
And see what's
last
in
week.
See what's in it.
I still do it. Yeah, I was going to say.
We gotta go, folks. Thanks for being with us. Happy Easter. We'll see you next time. We appreciate you very much.